Gen V. It looks like Kate did kill the headmistress. You know, she gave her one of those fingers across the neck. I didn't think she killed her. I thought it was going to be all in her mind, but apparently she did do that. Then she came up with the great idea. Now, Gen V is a great show. It's a spinoff from The Boys, which is also a great show. Both shows are heavily influenced by Marvel and DC. So you get a lot of characters, a lot of people, a lot of characters through this episode, through this show, that are heavily influenced by Marvel and DC characters. Homelander, of course, is like Superman. You know, so you've got that. Maeve is pretty much like Wonder Woman. So you've got that. Soldier Boy is Captain America. You've got all of these different I don't want to call them rip-offs. Those two twins, the Dynamo twins, whatever they're called, that's Jan and Jace. That's the Wonder Twins. Man, they even have a catchphrase that they say when they activate their powers to detonate somebody. They're spin-off stuff. In this episode, not only do they have characters that are spin-offs and complement characters from other genre, they also copied a storyline. You know, they've got like pieces of the X-Men movie where Nightcrawler invades the White House. They've got a little bit of that in there. They actually have a Nightcrawler dude. He's crawling on his hands and legs and jumping through the air, bam, bam, teleporting all over the place. And it was interesting. They didn't do a lot with him, but I was like, that's interesting. I like seeing a Nightcrawler type, you know, a Nightcrawler type dude on live action, because live action, he would be an interesting guy. He can teleport, poof, in a puff of smoke, poof, appear someplace else. You know, he kept the way they did it. It was good. But they also have their creation of what essentially would be the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, which in Marvel comic books, almost everyone who's born with their abilities are mutants. That's how they've got their powers. They're a different offshoot of Homo sapien. Here, and some of them became evil, and they call themselves the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. They were a supervillain group that fought the X-Men. In this episode, they've got their own group that are fighting the primary group. And they used to be friends. Some of them were friends, and they were just like, well, I'm not taking this anymore. Let's form our own group and go kill humans. That's kind of a spin and kind of a ripoff of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So in this episode, Kate definitely killed the headmistress. I did not think that she did. She tells the guys, look, we gotta form together. Humans want to kill us, man, we'll kill them first. I don't know how 5 people or 4 people or 10 people or whatever are going to go around and kill everyone on Earth. You know, even if you're almost unkillable, there's not enough of you to do it. You know what I mean? If 10 lions decided they wanted to kill everyone on Earth, yeah, 1 lion versus 4 or 5 people, you're that lion's going to win. But 10 lions versus everyone on Earth, sooner or later those lions are dead. That's what this is. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, you guys are powerful, sure. And any one of you can kill a room full of humans. But the planet? No, I don't think so, man. But they want to go out in a blaze of glory, I guess. They were just like, let's go get them. So some of the other guys, Marie and her crew, decide, nah, we're not going to do that. But Kate, with her mind manipulation power, when she decides that she's going to start killing humans, and they're like, we're not going to let you do it, she says something that was very important for the show. She told them, look, you guys can beat me. Sure you can. And then she points over at Sam and says, but can you beat him? And Sam is pretty much like, I guess, their non-green Incredible Hulk. He jumps places. He crashes and hits the ground. There's a big boom, big, crater. He's incredibly strong. It appears that his mental state increases his strength. Golden Boy was kind of like a Superboy type deal. He wasn't as powerful as Homelander, but he had pretty much a similar power set. And they hint that Sam was more powerful than his brother because they were siphoning off power from Sam to give to his brother to make him more powerful. And he still wasn't as powerful. So I'm thinking, they ain't gonna stop that dude because they definitely couldn't stop the brother, the older, weaker brother who was more powerful than him. So they're definitely not stopping the younger, stronger brother. And when she said, you can stop me, but you can't. Can you stop him? He kind of looked at him like, I think I'm going to rip your arms off. And that made everybody move, because they didn't see it, but I saw it. The last episode, he took a dude's arm right out of the socket, shoved it down his throat, and then smacked it to make the dude swallow his own arm. There's a lot of ways, if I had to go, that I could think of going quietly on the porch, surrounded by family at a barbecue, just after meeting that one Hollywood superstar diva and we just had dinner together. I could go after that. There's a lot of ways I can think of going. Discovering the secret of the universe right after that. But having my arm shoved down my throat, that is not on the list. It will never make the list. So that dude is dangerous, crazy dangerous. So they got out of his way, which was smart. But then as soon as they got out of his way, they're like, come on, we can stop him. And I'm thinking, no, you can't. Because if you can stop them, you'd stop them from leaving. And they left. They walked right past you. And Sam even bumped the strongest one of the good guys. He even kind of bumped him when he walked out, like to say, punk. Y'all can't stop them dudes. You better call the police. So they go to the forest and they release all of the other people in the force. So now they have a full-on fighting force. I don't know why everybody, I guess I do know why. Everybody there is game for going out and killing humans because it was humans that put them in. But it wasn't all of the humans, man. It was just those humans that put you in there. I mean, all of y'all ain't crazy. Why all the humans got to be killed? A point that Sam makes at one time. He's like, aren't some of these guys innocent? I mean, we're just killing. Because once they got out of the forest, they went straight to campus and started killing everybody. A dude walks up to a guy and says, hey, are you a soup? And he's like, of course I am. And he's like, oh, okay. And he walks away from him. And then he asks the next person, are you a soup? And she's like, no, I'm an administrator at the school. He's like, oh, okay. And then he grabs her face and melts it. There's a thing in Ghostbusters where Vigo asks, are you a god? And he's like, no. And then she blasts him. And then later, the one guy says, hey, if a monster asks you if you're a god, you say yes. That's what this was. If I'm walking around a school full of superpower people and somebody walks up to me, clothes all tattered and burnt, kind of crazy looking, and says, are you a soup? Either ignore him and keep walking and hoping you can get away, or tell him yes. You say no, you are a easier victim than you would be if you said yes. So they were probably looking for a fight anyway. Tell them, yeah, I got the power to disintegrate stuff, man, or whatever. You don't say, no, I'm a weak human. You are going to get your face melted off. So they start killing the humans, and everybody engages. The good guys are fighting the bad guys. Ashley from The Boys, the administrator woman. They show her. She's there with some people that are having a meeting. She's on campus. They're looking for a new person to go into the 7. And they're talking, and when everything happens, and they're like, we got to get out of here. And she does the thing that I think was really smart. First, she says, get the helicopter. And I'm thinking, the helicopter? You ain't getting out of there with a helicopter. But she says, get the helicopter. And then she says, oh, and somebody call Homelander. That was smart. That's the smartest thing that has happened, I think, this week on television. She said, somebody get Homelander. Because he's the most powerful suit on the planet. If you were in the Marvel universe and people were attacking you and you had a choice of calling Batman or the Human Torch, I mean not Batman, the Avengers or the Human Torch, you'd call the Avengers. If you were in the DC universe and somebody was attacking you and you had a choice of calling Batman or Superman, you better call Superman. I don't care what kind of problem you're having, you better call Superman if you got a choice. Here, she can put her finger on any soup in the nation. And she has close relations with the most powerful soup. She said, somebody call Homelander. And while people are getting killed and getting their arms ripped off and faces, and this one person's got laser vision and they're cutting people in half, and all of this blood and guts is everywhere. Everybody on campus that's fighting, everybody stops and looks up at the sky. And I was like, oh, well, it's over with now. Homelander shows up. Homelander. You know, even though I watched The Boys, it was really cool seeing him show. Even though I know he's a douche and a criminal and all that other kinds of stuff, he's a complete lunatic, racist. He showed up, and I was like, oh, that's Homelander. It's over with now. And it was, because as soon as he showed up, he was like, and everybody stopped, because they know Homelander is about that life. Homelander is about that business. If Homelander shows up, you are getting the work. So Homelander shows up, and he just kind of looks around at everybody. You know, they was choking people. They just stopped. They're like, uh-oh, uh-oh. And he's looking around, and Marie walks up to him and is like, sir, and he's like, for a long time, he held his finger up. And I was like, is he gonna zap that chick? He don't want to hear what's going on. He's like, I'm Homelander. I'll take care of it. I know what's happening, baby. But he said some vile stuff to that girl. And then he zaps her. He hit her with the heat vision. He hit her with the bleep. He zapped her. He gave her that business. And I was thinking, well, she's dead. But then I had an Easter egg at the end of the show. Because he zaps her and then the show goes off. He's like making an evil face. He's like, ah. And you see his eyes light up. And you see the lasers come out. And she's like, ah. And then all of a sudden, the show goes off. And I'm like, oh, uh-oh. They done killed Marie. They built her up just so the audience could go, ah. When she died, because she's dead. She's clearly dead. But then they had an Easter egg at the end. The credits stopped. The screen went blank. And then the entire screen went white. And all of the guys that were the troublemakers, were the heroes, were told that they were the troublemakers on the news. And they were alive, including Marie. And they just, one walks up to her and says, oh, wow, you're awake now. And she said, yeah, what? And she looks at her chest and says, what happened? And then one of them says, wow, you took that shot to the chest like a champ. Pretty much anybody else would be toast. And I said, well, how is she not dead? And if Homelander zapped her and she didn't die, wouldn't he have just zapped her again or just ripped her in half or thrown her in space or something? She'd have died if he wanted her dead. But I don't know what's happening. I don't know why she's not dead. I don't know why Homelander didn't kill her, because he could kill anybody if he felt like it. I don't know how she survived. And they were all in a white room, and the last thing she says was, there's no doors. So I'm thinking, how'd they get in there if there's no doors? I think they're in Casey's mind, or in the mind of some other superpowered person, or, well, it got to be in somebody's mind, because it's got to connect all of them. They can't be like on a lab, drugged, because their minds would still have to connect, because they're talking to each other. So I think one of those people with the mental powers zapped all of them, and the school is going to take control of them. But I don't know. But this is a good story. This is a good. It pulls me in every week. I sit down and wait, looking at the clock, looking at my watch, looking at the clock, looking at my watch, waiting for the moment when the show starts. And I'm like, there we go. Showtime. It's a good show, man. In fact, it's so good that I will give Gen V because of this episode and the hope for the next one, a 9. 9 bags of popcorn. 9 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. And more importantly, what do you think about that? Now that you had a chance to look at the video, let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn Passport.